Number 15. Switzerland, a small country, tucked between giant mountain ranges. How can a landlocked country, surrounded by the giant stone walls of the Alps, become one of the most rich and fascinating spaces in Europe? Switzerland appears like a miniature painting, spanning only about 15,940 square miles, less than 1/13 the size of France. But the feeling this land brings is quite the opposite. Here, everything seems condensed, stacked between mountains, creating a depth that goes far beyond its actual size. Nearly 2/3 of Swiss territory is mountainous. The Alps run through the country like a spine of stone and snow, dictating almost the entire shape of the living space. The land cannot spread out into flat fields, but is divided into countless valleys, plateaus, and slopes. Villages, railways, and highways do not open straight, but wind according to the terrain, along the foot of mountains, clinging to rocky slopes and riverbanks, creating a delicate yet resilient settlement network. Just a short distance from the centers, the urban landscape quickly gives way to pine forests, cliffs, and rugged horizons. It is the interplay between snowy mountains, ancient forests, blue lakes, and inhabited valleys that makes the journey through Switzerland constantly changing. In a seemingly modest area, the landscape continuously opens up new layers of space, making this country always look wider and deeper than the numbers on the map. And that is just the landscape shell, before the story of the people, culture, and life rhythm between the peaks truly begins. Number 14. Lauterbrunnen Valley, the place where waterfalls flow down from dreams. Located deep in the majestic Alps, Lauterbrunnen Valley is one of the most beautiful destinations in Switzerland, a place where nature seems meticulously carved by the hand of the Creator. When visitors arrive here, the first thing that attracts them is the absolute peace. Small wooden houses nestled under sheer cliffs, lush green fields dotted with sheep grazing leisurely, and above all, white waterfalls cascading down from heights of hundreds of feet. Lauterbrunnen has up to 72 waterfalls of all sizes, making it known as the Valley of Waterfalls. Among them, Staubach Falls, with its water flowing like a silver ribbon falling freely from the cliff, is the famous icon that any tourist wants to admire. It is not only beautiful during the day, but when sunset falls, the last rays of sunlight hitting the misty spray create a fairy tale-like setting. Not stopping at natural beauty, Lauterbrunnen is also the gateway to exploring other legendary Swiss destinations like Jungfraujoch, the top of Europe, and Murren, the mountain village with a panoramic view of the entire valley. In particular, you can take cable cars or traditional mountain trains to enjoy every spectacular route. A trip to Lauterbrunnen is not just a regular vacation. It is an experience of immersing yourself in nature, a connection with majestic yet romantic spaces, making anyone who has ever set foot there remember it forever. Number 13. Land of Happy Cows. In Switzerland, cows do not just appear on green meadows. They are present in the daily rhythm of the mountains, in the sounds echoing through the valleys, in traditional cuisine, and in the most important festivals of the year. If one had to choose an animal deeply attached to Swiss life, for many, it would be the cows. On the slopes of the Alps, for hundreds of years, cows have been released freely every summer onto high-altitude pastures. They eat natural grass, drink meltwater from glaciers, and live in a nearly pristine environment. This living environment has created the special milk quality, the foundation for the famous cheeses and butters that have made Switzerland's name known worldwide. The special thing lies in how people treat the cows. They are not just livestock. they are considered part of the family. Many cows have their own names. Their health is carefully monitored, and they are cared for according to very strict standards. For mountain people, the herd is the most precious asset, the source of life, and also a pride passed down from generation to generation. Therefore, when summer ends, Switzerland organizes the Cattle Drive Festival, a special event. During this festival, each cow is decorated with fresh flowers, wears large bells, and parades through the village to the sound of music and applause. This is not a flashy parade, but a ritual of thanking the four-legged friends who have accompanied humans throughout the year. In Switzerland, just by looking at how people respect the cows, you will understand the philosophy of this country. Live slowly, live in harmony with nature, and always be grateful for what nurtures you. Number 12. Switzerland, a peaceful paradise or a kingdom of quirky laws. Switzerland is famous as one of the wealthiest and most livable countries in the world, where everything runs as precisely as their legendary watches. But behind that peaceful and orderly appearance, there exist strange bans. In Switzerland, naming children is not entirely an absolute freedom. People here believe that a name can affect a child's life. Therefore, names that are too weird, meaningless, or easy to ridicule can be rejected by the authorities. For them, a name is not just for calling, it is a wish for a peaceful life. Silence is also considered sacred. In many residential areas, after 10 p.m., residents are requested to limit noise. Even in some places, men are not allowed to urinate standing up at night because the sound might affect others. These regulations may sound strange, but they clearly reflect the respect for shared space in Swiss culture. Some laws were born just because of tourists. In Appenzell Canton, there were situations where hikers hiked naked, causing offense to the local community. The result was a ban on naked hiking, and violators can be fined or detained. Even taking photos is not always free. In the village of Bergun, Gravon, a village so beautiful it is famous throughout Europe, tourists were once banned from taking photos to prevent images from spreading too much, losing the sense of discovery. Anyone who violates it can be fined and forced to delete the photos. Switzerland is also a place where pets are valued no less than humans. Dog owners must pay annual taxes, and for small animals like guinea pigs or goldfish, the law requires them to have a companion of the same species to avoid loneliness. The bans in Switzerland may surprise outsiders, but they all reflect a very clear life philosophy. Respect order, respect others, and respect even the smallest creatures. Number 11. Festivals that make up the Swiss soul. When the sky and mountains speak together. Switzerland is not only remembered for snowy mountains or precise watches, but also for unique festivals where humans, nature, and tradition blend as one. On certain days of the year, the whole country seems to slow down, to make room for moments imbued with an identity that no other place has. During the festival season, the Swiss sky suddenly becomes a giant stage. The International Hot Air Balloon Festival turns valleys and lakes into backdrops for dozens of colorful balloons floating in the air. From above, the Alps, small villages, and flat lake surfaces appear like a painting. This is not just a tourist event, but also a moment for humans to look back at nature from a completely different perspective, slow, peaceful, and overwhelming. In another space, amidst the quiet mountains, the Alphorn Festival brings a very special emotion. Horns nearly 13 feet long sound deep, low tones that carry far through the valleys and echo off mountain walls. The Alphorn was not created for stage performance, but born to communicate with the mountains, once used to call cows, signal, and connect distant villages. Two festivals, two different spaces, but they tell the same story. The Swiss do not try to conquer nature, they choose to blend into it. And those festivals have contributed to creating a very distinct identity, peaceful, authentic, and sustainable over time. Number 10. Sunday, the day when all noise becomes illegal. If you take a stroll in Switzerland on a Sunday, you will be surprised to see that even though the sun is high, the streets are empty, shops are closed, supermarkets have stopped operating, and construction projects have disappeared. Doing nothing on a lazy Sunday is a long-standing tradition in Switzerland. Even noisy household activities that disturb neighbors, such as vacuuming, washing clothes, hanging laundry, and taking out the trash, are on the forbidden list. If you have a noisy party or sing loud karaoke, you can also have the police called on you by neighbors. In particular, if you bring trash to the recycling bin on Sunday, you will be fined and may even be detained for a few days. This law is not a joke. It is clearly stated in life and law. Sunday is a day of absolute rest, to enjoy wonderful silence and to respect the private space of others. The only exceptions are shops, at airports, and public transportation, which still operate on Sundays. People often spend this time going to church, walking in nature, hiking, skiing, or gathering with family, creating a peaceful and quiet atmosphere. And perhaps it is that almost absolute silence that makes the unique identity of Sunday in Switzerland. Number 9. Women in Switzerland. Strong, rich, and the most interesting in Europe. Swiss women carry a very distinct aura. They have a calm, confident demeanor, bright skin, and a toned physique, thanks to an athletic lifestyle. And what surprises tourists most is their ability to fluently use 3 to 4 languages as if it were a given. But the appearance is only the tip of the iceberg. Swiss women are famous as the top financial brains of Europe. They are good at saving, investing, and managing stocks no differently than CEOs. For them, money is not for showing off, but a tool for the freedom to choose their life. It is no surprise that many hold important positions in banks, investment funds, or large enterprises. Outside of work, they also conquer nature. Mountain climbing, skiing, and trekking in the Alps are not weekend hobbies, but a way of life. In fact, women participate in extreme sports, even more than men. Even love stories are very unique. The popular dating app is not Tinder, but a mountain climbing dating app. To love, one must first conquer heights together. Marriage here is also not rushed. The average age of marriage is 31, the highest in Europe. Being single does not mean being lonely. It is the choice of someone independent enough, rich enough, and happy enough. Perhaps that is why Swiss women are not only strong, but also the most free and interesting version in Europe. If you want to know the secret to attracting a Swiss woman, just leave the number 3 in the comments and I will share it immediately. Number 8. The steam train trip that takes you back in time amidst snowy mountains. In Switzerland, there is a train that when it starts moving, you don't just leave the station, you leave the 21st century. People often mention Switzerland for modern trains that are precise to the minute. But few know that this country still preserves old steam train lines, not in a museum, but running for real, breathing for real, crossing snowy mountains like a miracle. Grand, spectacular, and deeply nostalgic is how people describe the oldest steam-powered mountain railway in Europe. This line has been operating since 1892, about 4.7 miles long, taking visitors from the ground to an altitude of 7,710 feet, like a dream journey, giving visitors the opportunity to see the full, wonderful beauty of nature. The train glides through winding curves along hillsides, then gradually rises to the mountain peaks, letting visitors enjoy every moment of the majestic landscape of the Alps and Lake Brienz. On that poetic journey, you will encounter lush green meadows, dense forests, or small peaceful houses nestled at the foot of the mountain. You will feel like you are traveling back in time to the 19th century on the old railway, listening to the echoing train whistle. Watching the white smoke curl through the beautiful natural picture will surely leave an unforgettable memory in the hearts of visitors. No set design is needed, because the train trip itself is a film. When reaching the top, the vast natural landscape opening up before your eyes will take your breath away. This is not just a trip, but a journey taking visitors into nature and feeling the unique historical values of Switzerland. Number 7. The world's most lazy country. Dropped money isn't picked up. The unemployed still have money. In Switzerland, people seem to have reached a state of indifference toward money. Money to them is just a fleeting thing, as light as a leaf falling in the wind, that no one bothers to bend down and pick up. Not only indifferent to making money, no one here works more than 4 hours a day. It sounds absurd, but it is the reality of one of the richest countries on the planet. When the standard of living is already too high and social welfare is sufficient, people no longer feel pressured to rush into the vortex of making money at all costs. But working less does not mean being less effective. On the contrary, Switzerland still ranks among the top strongest economies in the world, with a GDP per capita among the highest globally. They are famous for very high labor productivity, a focused and disciplined work style, and an infrastructure and service system that operates accurately and smoothly in every detail. When time is up, the work truly ends. No emails at midnight, no continuous overtime, no trading health for money. The remaining time is spent on oneself, family, friends, sports, and nature, things that create long-term happiness. Thanks to this, many cities like Zurich and Geneva are always among the most livable in the world. The special thing is that even when unemployed, Swiss people do not fall into a panic. The welfare system is strong enough to ensure a stable life, so money is no longer a constant obsession. Perhaps that is why they do not worry too much about having to get rich quick or having to earn more than others. From the outside looking in, many call it lazy, but in reality, this is a smart art of living. Wealth lies not only in money, but in time, tranquility, and the right to choose a way of life for oneself. And perhaps that very indifference toward money is the secret that helps Switzerland become one of the most stable and happy countries in the world. Number 6. Bahnhofstrasse, where a dirty ditch transformed into the ATM of the ultra-rich. There is a street in Switzerland where every square meter of ground can give birth to money. And the unbelievable thing is that over 150 years ago, it was just a smelly ditch. That is Bahnhofstrasse, located right in the heart of Zurich. Few would expect that the most luxurious street in Europe today used to be a muddy sewage moat on the edge of the old city. It wasn't until the 19th century, when the central station and the railway were built, that Zurich decided to tear it down and redo the entire area. And from that moment, history turned in a different direction. Today, Bahnhofstrasse is only about 0.87 miles long, but it is nicknamed the ATM of the ultra-rich. Along both sides of the street are private bank headquarters, Swiss watch boutiques, jewelry stores, and leading global luxury brands. This street gathers more than 120 stores, from Chanel, Louis Vuitton, and Hermès to names associated with Swiss class like Patek Philippe, Bucherer, and Cartier. The rental prices here are among the most expensive globally, where every glass display window is a statement of money, status, and power. The interesting thing is that the wealth here is not loud. Everything is sophisticated and minimalist, in true Swiss style. At Bahnhofstrasse, it's not just about selling goods, it's about selling trust, stability, and financial class. Because of that, global cash flow still steadily flows here, silent but persistent, turning the small street that was once a dirty ditch into the financial artery of the world's elite. Number 5. Bern. When UNESCO heritage blends with the modern flow. Bern, the true capital of Switzerland, chooses for itself a contemplative and humble demeanor. Nestled in the soft bend of the turquoise Artery River, the center of Bern is a complex of medieval sandstone architecture where time seems to have stood still for centuries. Recognized by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site since 1983, the Old Town of Bern is a rare model of preservation. The 3.7-mile arcade system. This is one of the longest covered promenades in Europe. Beneath the ancient stone arches are boutiques, stylish cafes, and modern offices. Right above are the living spaces of residents and federal government headquarters. Clock towers and fountains. Every brick, every carved detail tells of a golden age of history, creating a vibrant museum without the need for walls or entrance tickets. If Zurich is a sharply tailored suit, Bern is like an expensive cashmere sweater without a tag. The color of Bern in the eyes of visitors is the synthesis of the gray of sandstone, the blue of rivers and lakes, and the meticulousness in every smallest detail. The city does not show off wealth with bright neon signs, but that wealth exists in the silence, in the excellent quality of life, and in the discreet pride of a heritage capital. Number 4. Geneva. A peaceful symphony by the Leman Current. The heart of the city is the vast Lake Leman, where crystal-clear water reflects the year-round snow-capped mountain ranges. The most brilliant highlight is the Jet d'eau fountain, a proud water column soaring straight into the blue sky, releasing misty sprays like soft silk ribbons under the golden sunlight. This was actually a technical accident. Initially, it was just a pressure relief valve for the hydraulic network of craftsmen. No one expected that dry mechanical solution to become a proud 460-foot-tall water column, a symbol of Swiss grace. Geneva is also a place that honors peace in a very special way. Right in front of the United Nations headquarters is the broken chair artwork, a giant wooden chair with a broken leg. It stands tall as a silent reminder of the pain caused by landmines and the power of healing. More interestingly, Geneva is the heart of technology and literature. This is where the World Wide Web, WWW protocol, was born at the Bahnhofstrasse, and it was right on the windy shores of Lake Leman that author Mary Shelley wrote the legendary Frankenstein monster on a stormy night. Finally, although it is a city of clock movements precise to fractions of a second, Geneva teaches people how to live slowly. From the giant flower clock made of 6,500 fresh flowers to the leisurely pace of life by the lake, this city proves that, True luxury is peace and wisdom. Number 3. The green fortress of the global elite. If there is a place where money does not need to speak to prove its power, it is Switzerland. Thanks to the absolute security of the banking system, the stability of the franc, and a steadfast neutral policy, this country has become a sanctuary for the ultra-rich and the international elite for centuries. At golden coordinates like Bahnhofstrasse or the bustling Zurich financial district, the breath of prosperity is present in every millimeter of space. Wealth here hides in private banks and wealth management offices, where the world's most powerful families entrust the financial destiny of many generations. 5-star hotels with classic beauty, discreet Michelin restaurants, or watch and jewelry boutiques where every item is a unique masterpiece. What makes Swiss class is extreme secrecy. Behind heavy, silent wooden doors are huge sums of money circulating and financial decisions capable of shifting the global situation. In Switzerland, privacy is not just a service, it is a belief, a core value that helps this place maintain its position as the vault of the world. Finally, the quality of life here redefines the concept of quiet luxury. Unlike the ostentation of many other metropolises, Swiss beauty lies in sophistication and discretion. It is the mansions hidden by the deep blue Lake Leman, or the most prestigious boarding schools in the world, like Le Rose, where future generations of leaders are trained. At Switzerland, the elite find an isolated paradise, where the majestic nature of the Alps blends with supreme civilization, creating a perfect environment for high-end values to be preserved and flourish. Number 2. The country ready for doomsday. Switzerland is the only country in the world capable of sheltering 100% of its population in nuclear bunkers if a disaster occurs. This is the result of the always prepare for the worst-case scenario philosophy that has been legalized since the 1960s. This network of bunkers is present everywhere, from thick steel doors several inches thick, hidden behind family wine cellars, to megastructures like Sonnenberg in Lucerne, which once had a capacity of 20,000 people with full hospitals and command centers. Even mountain tunnels are designed to be closed with giant doors, turning into solid shelters in just a few hours. As the ghost of the Cold War receded, the Swiss turned these underground spaces into highly practical works. Stable underground temperatures and humidity create the perfect environment to protect both digital data and expensive wheels of cheese. The nuclear bunker system is proof of Switzerland's extreme but humane preparation. It confirms that the country's peace comes not only from its neutral policy, but also from a solid defense infrastructure, ensuring survival for every citizen before all fluctuations of the era. Number 1. Cost of living in Switzerland. Living in Switzerland can make you spend more than in most other countries, but in return, you are experiencing one of the safest, cleanest, and most stable places in the world. Here, trains arrive exactly to the minute. The air is as fresh as if it were just filtered through the mountains, and there have been people who forgot their wallets in the park and returned a few hours later to find them still intact. A one-bedroom apartment in the center of Zurich or Geneva can cost from $1,800 to $2,200 per month. The suburbs are more affordable, around $1,200 to $1,600. Basic services like electricity, water, and heating fall in the range of $180 to $250, while high-speed internet ranges from $40 to $50. A meal at a restaurant costs about 18 to 25, while the cost of cooking at home is about 350 to 450 per month. Overall, the living cost for one person is about $2,800 to $3,800 per month. Although the cost is 30% to 50% higher than the European average, thousands of foreigners still choose Switzerland. Why? Because it has top-tier medical services, a peaceful living environment, and the government provides good support for skilled people through labor, student, or long-term residence visas. Small cities like Lucerne or Lausanne also help save 30 to 40% in costs, while the quality of life remains almost unchanged. Another reason? The average income in Switzerland is nearly $7,000 per month, among the highest in the world. Our journey through Switzerland ends here, but maybe your imagination is just getting started. If you could spend one day here, what would you do first? Ride a steam train through the snow, walk in Lauterbrunnen, or wander down Bahnhofstrasse among the luxury stores? Tell me in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you won't miss the next hidden corners of our world.